Hey guys, welcome back to Console Purist in Review. Guess what? Kaz and I are in the same province now. We're actually in the same room recording. Unfortunately, I don't have my full studio set up yet because I just moved like 3 or 4 days ago across the country. If you haven't seen my travel vlog part 1 that I put up yesterday, go ahead and check that out because I go all the way across Canada checking out video game stores and comic book stores along the way. There's some pretty cool stuff there. So, Kaz, what's on the docket for today? What are we talking about?
Well, this week we got quite a bit. We got the Mario 35th anniversary Nintendo Direct, which has been a super big deal for me.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, we both love the Switch. We love Nintendo, so getting this Direct, and especially after not having a real Direct in over a year at this point, it's been brutal. So I'm pretty. I guess it might not have been quite a year, but still about a year. It's been
a long time, and even this one wasn't really a full blown Direct. No. I mean, it was, a special Mario Direct. Yeah. I mean, I'm still jonesing for when we get a proper Direct that's like 45 minutes long and covers everything that's coming up, right? But
so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a little bit of the anti-consumerism that's been going around in the group, the accusations to Nintendo. Because, I mean, a $60 game, which is really a bunch of old games in a compilation, a lot of people aren't taking well to that. And then, as well, talking about anti-consumerism, we're going to talk about the Xbox Series X, with the $900-ish leak from Pringles in South Africa, and consoles versus PC. So
yeah, it's been really a tumultuous week on Console Purist. Like, there's been, between the Nintendo thing, which has just got people, going crazy, not only the anti-consumerism, but you've got so many people that are so hyped for all this new stuff coming out, that Mario Kart Live thing.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
I'm super excited for it too, but at the same time, it's like, you really have to be a certain kind of person with, a good-sized house that you can set this thing up in, because I can imagine it's actually not going to work as well as you think. You're going to be crashing into stuff and having to go and reset the car and stuff. But I think it's a pretty cool concept, and I've always loved the idea of that kind of augmented reality sort of stuff.
I'm super excited. When I saw the Mario Direct, I was a kid again. It was basically Christmas Day, or, the catalogs you get before Christmas to circle what you want. I really want that live.
I was actually pretty excited to get the Mario All-Stars collection on the Switch Online as well, because those are the, arguably, some people would disagree, but arguably those are the better versions of the games, the kind of 16-bit remasters. I definitely prefer those versions myself, and so it's definitely nice to have access to those. Now, I don't think everybody, there seems to be some disagreement on whether those are actually a limited time and they're going to take them down. I think some people were, understanding that they're actually going to take that down off the online service in March.
I think that is one of the things that is staying on the Nintendo Online for the SNES.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things that were limited, and that doesn't sit well with me. That I'll agree with any anti-consumerism there. Mario 35, where it's like a battle royale.
Yeah, well, that seems
looks really awesome.
It really looks like a great idea, but apparently it's this limited thing until March.
Yeah, exactly, and it's stupid. It's like Tetris 99. There's no reason for it to be limited time other than people might stop playing it at some point. But it's Mario. It's the iconic franchise. Why didn't we have this when battle royales were big?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, coming into the anti-consumerism stuff, I mean, there's been a lot of talk about anti-consumerism, and quite frankly, I'm a little annoyed at this whole trend of anti-consumer, bashing or whatever, because as far as I'm concerned, every corporation in history has been anti-consumer since the beginning of time. That's kind of the whole point of running a business, is to make as much money as possible and manipulate the consumers however you possibly can to get the most money out of them in the shortest amount of time. That's kind of how business works. All of a sudden, in the last 2 or 3 months, all of a sudden everybody's all, oh my god, this is anti-consumer, that's anti-consumer, but it's always been anti-consumer. I mean, the Mario All-Stars and the Kirby Dream Collection on the Wii, those were both limited time things that came and went, and they actually did do a reprint of the Mario All-Stars on the Wii at one point because people were clamoring for it, but those were limited time things too. This is totally, normal for Nintendo to do stuff like this.
Well, Nintendo's always been such a almost anti-consumer gaming company, but like they're not even a cult classic anymore. Like they are one of the largest corporations. They're, I think, the richest company in Japan.
Yeah, they're Japan's biggest company now.
So it's that was also something that was just made the news at how big they are, and you can't tell me that they're so anti-consumer that people aren't buying anymore. It does suck for a lot of us having to deal with it, but I like the knowledge that my Nintendo collection is worth, like, it's my most expensive collection. I have an expensive collection.
This is why Nintendo games stay up in price. And for you collectors out there, the fact that you can get pretty much retail price for any first-party Nintendo game, even 5, 10, 15 years later. You look at the Switch, Breath of the Wild, right now, 3 years later, is still $79.99 here in Canada.
Yeah,
or
it's like
$60 in the States, right? Like, they don't drop in value, and that's a good thing for collectors, because most of the games that you buy on PlayStation or Xbox depreciate like crazy the second you buy it.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's nice to see some really beautiful graphics from the PS4 and Xbox, but at the end of the day, my collection doesn't feel like it's worth anything for my PS4.
You know, Game of the Year last year, God of War, it's worth like $10. Like at Walmart, like anywhere, it's a $10 game.
Maybe $20. Like, it's not an expensive game anymore.
So, you can cry anti-consumer, but really, I think Nintendo is really doing a good job at protecting the value of their IPs. By doing stuff like this consistently, they're ensuring that the value of their IPs stays high. And although the idea of a limited exclusive, where maybe we're going to have some scalpers involved on like that Game & Watch, for example, a lot of people are
I really want that.
I want the Game & Watch. Oh. I want it. Yeah, me too.
I want it for a history perspective, because I've never got to really experience the Game & Watch, and I really want to.
Yeah, me too. And, but a lot of people are worried that the Game & Watch thing is going to go down the road of the NES Classic and the Super NES Classic, where, it's going to be impossible to get your hands on. Scalpers are going to be buying up multiple copies and selling them for double retail value. And I think we are going to see some of this. Knowing Nintendo's history, they're probably not going to create enough of these to handle the demand.
No, they typically give a quarter of whatever's requested to all their suppliers, or at least that's what it was back when the NES and SNES were in power. So
yeah, it's Nintendo's a funny company, but so in the news as well, and my friend Smash JT actually released a video on this yesterday, and it's been talked about in the group a fair bit. Apparently Pringles leaked the price of the Xbox Series X through a contest that they're running on their Pringles can packaging, and working with the different exchange rates and stuff, because this was a South African promotion. Apparently, it looks like the Xbox Series X, if this leak is to be considered true, and it does seem pretty legit, but that's kind of stating that the Xbox Series X is going to be in the $600 US range at launch, which is going to put it at about $850 Canadian. Do you think that's a sustainable price, or how many people do you think are going to start buying video cards and stuff and just playing on their PC?
Well, it's going to be an expensive buy. I don't think a lot of people are going to opt for it at first.
Well, there's so few reasons to buy an Xbox Series X at launch anyway, with Halo being, delayed and everything else. Like,
just about anyone that wants that has a PC is probably going to upgrade their PC at this point. I mean, it would cost me just about as much to upgrade mine, and I've got a 2070, like a GTX 2070. So, like, there's not even any reason for me to upgrade, let alone anyone that doesn't have the optimal computer for gaming experience.
Well, and that's the thing, right after Christmas here, coming into 2021, I'm going to start building a new custom PC with Alex, my friend and computer buddy. And at that point, as I'm choosing to buy a video card anyway, with these 3070s, 3080s, whatever, on the market for a pretty reasonable price, like $700, you really got to wonder, for something that's putting out almost twice the teraflops versus an Xbox Series X, when you can play all of the Microsoft exclusives on the Microsoft Store on the computer anyway, with a controller from the Xbox One or something, which is compatible with your computer, you really got to wonder how many people are actually going to buy an Xbox Series X.
Well, I think it might be honestly just the non-computer savvy people, the people that have the money to buy it, that want the whole Xbox experience. They'll be able to go and buy the console and plug it in, but it's almost not even worth it anymore. Like, if you want a console, go with the PS5.
A lot of people, going back to the Nintendo thing, a lot of people have been kind of up in arms about the price and the details of the Super Mario All-Stars 3D collection. A lot of people have been kind of upset at the price because these are basically just ports of old games. They haven't really done much to remaster them, other than with Sunshine and Galaxy. They have made them,
They look a bit nicer.
They're widescreen and, maybe they're upscaled a bit, but Mario 64 is still going to play in typical letterbox format with the black bars on the sides of the screen. A lot of people are kind of upset about that, and they're upset at the full $60 price point for this game. Personally, I don't think $20 a game, like $60 divided by 3 games, that's $20 a game. I don't really think that's too bad, but I'd be curious to know what you guys think. What do you think?
As far as the price is concerned, for Nintendo, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. It's like again, $20 a game for some classic games. I think that's roughly the going price, if not more, for the individual games anyway.
Well, we had my friend PK in the Universe actually did a breakdown on Twitter. Now, if you go on the Wii U eShop right now, Mario 64 is a $10 download, and Mario Galaxy is a $20 download, so that's $30. And then nobody knows, like, Sunshine's never been available before, so you could assume Sunshine would be at least $20. So that brings you up to $50, and then you talk about having a physical copy.
And having it on the Switch altogether.
Having a physical copy and having it on the Switch, I don't think $60 is really out of line of Nintendo pricing in general.
No.
Being 10 plus 20 plus 20, that's 50, and then you add the cost of a physical cartridge. I think that's pretty reasonable overall.
Yeah, I'm not miffed about the price at all. I'm quite excited for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we do see with a lot of these remasters, like you mentioned about the the Crash Insane trilogy and the Spyro Reignited trilogy. Those both retailed at about $40-ish. And it's nice when you see, or even the recent SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom that just came out, it retailed at $30. So sometimes these remasters do come in at a lower price, but with Nintendo, there's always that Nintendo tax.
Always. Always. I guess that's the price you pay for the quality, or at least perceived quality of the Nintendo seal of quality.
Yeah.
So
anyways, guys, we're pretty much ready to wrap up the video for today. We'd be really interested to hear your comments on the topics that we've discussed here, so feel free to sound off in the comments. Let us know what things are important to you on Console Purist this week and next week coming up that you would like to see featured in our next episode. Thanks for joining in on episode 3, and we'll be back in 2 weeks.
See you next time.